Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are completely bypassing the firewall and dissecting the anatomy of a cyber threat. We're going to demystify the somewhat complex world of computer networks and, look at the actors who are constantly trying to breach them. So, if you've ever found yourself wondering just how secure your data really is in this wildly interconnected landscape we live in, well, you are absolutely in the right place.
Is any system or network truly 100% unhackable? It's a pretty bold claim, right? Actually, there's this really famous Reddit thread where developers proudly listed the games they claimed were completely unhackable. They literally issued an open challenge to the entire internet. And, well, spoiler alert, every single one of them eventually got hacked. I mean, even highly secure, top-secret networks like the NSA have experienced breaches. And understanding exactly why that happens is what we're going to uncover today.
Moving on to Section 1, the connected world.
Right, so before we can truly understand the hackers themselves, we kind of need to understand the playing field they're trying to break into. At the very core of this whole attack surface is the network. Think of it like a city's massively complex highway system, but instead of cars, it's interconnected computers routing data all over the place. You've got your local area networks, handling the local internal traffic, and those scale all the way up to wide area networks, like the internet itself, which is literally just the biggest wide area network in the world.
Now, to actually navigate this digital highway, every single node on the network, and I mean everything from massive enterprise servers down to your kitchen smart fridge, relies on an IP address. It's basically a digital postal address. It provides a logical numeric direction that routes packets of data across the network. Without that IP address, your devices simply can't communicate or receive anything. They'd just be lost in the mail, so to speak.
Okay, Section 2, the hacker spectrum.
So we've got our playing field set up. Let's take a look at the players. The media often incorrectly paints all hackers as villains typing furiously in dark basements, right? But the reality is actually a spectrum. On one far side, you've got black hat hackers. These are the bad guys. They operate illegally with malicious intent to breach systems, steal data, blackmail organizations, the whole shebang. But on the totally opposite side, we have white hat hackers. These are legally commissioned, highly paid, consenting professionals who preemptively hunt for flaws. They find the vulnerabilities to fortify those exact same systems before the black hats can get to them. They're basically our digital security guards.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the gray area in the middle, which is perfectly illustrated by the true story of Kevin Mitnick. Kevin represents a third category, the gray hat hacker. Get this, at just 12 years old, Kevin started hacking, and he eventually managed to hack his way into incredibly high-security systems, including Motorola and Nokia. He didn't necessarily start out with the terrible, malicious intent of a black hat, but he definitely didn't have the legal consent of a white hat either. He did get caught, he served jail time, but here's the crazy twist. Today, he's a reformed white hat hacker. He uses those exact same unbelievable skills to protect Fortune 500 companies. It just really shows that hacking is a tool, a skill set that can be used for immense harm or for immense good.
Let's roll right into Section 3, the anatomy of an attack.
We know who the actors are now, but how do these cyber intruders actually break into a seemingly secure system? Well, it's typically a very methodical three-step process. Step 1 is network enumeration, basically reconnaissance. The hacker intensely studies the target. They're downloading site structures, gathering up usernames, emails, finding old dormant ghost accounts, just gathering intel. Then, step 2 is vulnerability analysis. This is where they use specialized tools to scan the network, actively hunting for weak spots, maybe outdated software versions that haven't been patched. And finally, step 3, exploitation. This is the actual breach. They overpower those specific vulnerabilities they found to gain full control of the system.
Next up, Section 4, the arsenal and the human factor. Let's raise the stakes a bit here.
Once a hacker is ready to exploit a system, what specific weapons are they actually pulling out? Well, they have an honestly overwhelming arsenal at their disposal. We've got phishing, you've probably seen these, fake emails and spoofed URLs designed to trick you into giving up passwords. Then there's smishing and vishing, which are just the SMS, text, and voice call versions of those same scams. And Trojan horses. These are particularly nasty. They disguise themselves as totally innocent files, maybe an attachment that looks like it's from a friend or family member, but the second you open it, boom, it installs hidden malware or rootkits that give the hacker total system control. They also use keyloggers to literally track every single keystroke you make, and cookie theft to just hijack your active logged-in sessions. It's a lot.
But here is a genuinely terrifying reality. Even if your network has zero internet connection, you still aren't perfectly safe. Take the famous Stuxnet virus, for example. This was designed to target uranium centrifuge facilities in Iran. The computers running these centrifuges completely air-gapped, zero connection to the outside web. But the virus just lay dormant until a single infected USB drive was physically plugged into the system by a person. That was it. It took over and completely destroyed the physical offline hardware. It just goes to show you that lines of code over the internet aren't the only vulnerabilities. If a hacker or a virus gets physical access, it is just as deadly.
So, the crucial point is this absolute mammoth of a number, 773 million. Just to put that into perspective, that is the number of unique emails leaked online in just a single data breach. It's wild. While hackers do have incredibly advanced, complex tools, the hard truth is they often don't even need them. Why? Because, well, we literally just hand over the keys. Honestly, we're kinda our own worst enemy here. The biggest cyber vulnerability isn't some complex firewall or piece of software. It's the human factor. Look at these top human errors. Millions of people, right now, still use the word QWERTY or password as their actual real-life password. We blindly click unknown links in emails. We reuse the exact same password for our highly sensitive bank accounts and our throwaway social media accounts. We even destroy our own physical hardware by, spilling a cup of coffee on the server. Or we just completely ignore those annoying router firmware updates. You don't need a hyper-advanced hacker if we're freely giving away our data or wrecking our own gear.
Which brings us nicely to Section 5, Securing Your Digital Life.
So, how do we actually build our defense strategy? What can you do today? Well, it starts with upgrading your daily routines. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how to upgrade those habits from super vulnerable to highly secure. On the left, you've got the weak habits making you an easy target. On the right, the secure habits that turn you into a digital fortress. For example, stop using public open Wi-Fi at the coffee shop. Instead, use a virtual private network, a VPN, to encrypt your data. Avoid basic HTTP websites. Always look for that secure HTTPS certification. Please swap out those short, reused passwords for unique strings that are at least 20 characters long. Stop clicking links in random emails. Just type the URLs out manually. And finally, go in and change your default router name, the SSID, so hackers can't just easily identify exactly what hardware you're using.
We live in a world where absolutely everything is connected. Did you know that a hacker once broke into 50,000 internet-connected printers around the world and literally forced them to print out messages demanding people subscribe to the YouTuber PewDiePie? It sounds funny, but it proves a deadly serious point. From the baby monitors in our homes to smart TVs to office printers, every single connected device is a potential entry point. So, as our world gets more and more connected, I want to leave you with this question. Are you the weakest link in your own network? Take control of your digital habits today. Stay curious and stay secure. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.